You're listening to the Hella Well with Danielle show, a podcast taking women of color on a journey exploring all things wellness and travel related. We're all about showing you how to put on your oxygen mask first and creating lasting self-care habits that will free you to travel the world and live the life you truly desire, and not one you have to fake loving. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. Now let's buckle up and start this journey. Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Hella Well with Danielle podcast. I'm Danielle Washington, and I'm your host. I don't know about you, but I know I need to exercise, or exercise is good for me, but I never feel like I have time. It's like I think about it, I'm like, but who has an hour to go to a gym or go to a class or even, pull up a YouTube? I mean, yes, I'm pretty sure I have an hour, but I never make the time. And so I wanted to have my guest on, who is one of my great friends, Kyrstal Taylor of Fitness is Not a Game, who is literally like that voice in my head that tells me I need to drink water, I need to do all these things. And she has these amazing ways to helping us sneak in exercise, as well as ways to eat healthier that don't make us have to cut all these different things or think of food as being good or bad. And so I love her. I want to have her on here. She has these amazing cards that she uses, and she has a program called Shift, where she really helps women of color shift not only how they go about eating, how they go about exercising, but shifting their mind. And before the holidays, I feel like this is the perfect episode to have to make sure that we're shifting how we think about exercising and getting it in, even if we have to sneak it in. So ready for a great episode. Hey, Krystal, how are you?
I am fantastic. What's going on, Danny?
Oh, we starting with fire. Okay. He's like, gunshots.
What's going on, Danielle?
How's my favorite AKA doing? Okay,
Excuse
see, you want to start with fire, calling me Danny.
Am I Amanda Seals now?
Oh no, we did not go there.
No, it's actually your favorite Delta.
Yes.
That's where we are.
That's why
I'm doing well. How's my favorite today?
I'm doing fabulous.
I'm gonna say that get in trouble because I have aunties who are AKA, so I might get in trouble with that.
That's why I'm your favorite San Franciscan AKA. I wanted you on this show because you snatch edges on a regular, and you ain't even near me. Every time I'm like, oh man, I'm working. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I need some water. I can hear your voice like, how many glasses of water do you have? How many glasses of water do you have? And so I'm always remembering to get water because I can hear you in my ear. I know we've talked before, but I know there's so many women who, like me, know we need to exercise, but I ain't got time for that. Let me phrase that. I mentally say I don't have time for that. And then again, I hear you in my voice and I hear you saying BS. So I know I'm not alone. How do you even do it yourself? But what are ways that we busy women of color can sneak in some exercise in our schedule?
So I'm not going to call it BS, but I will say that it's a matter of priorities, right? Because we have time for a lot of different things. It's a matter of what we have. Oh, what are you drinking? That's some cloudy water.
Some days. It is cloudy water. I'm drinking my normal water. This is not my normal water. Normal water has ginger and cloves, but I didn't have time to put cloves in here because I knew if I was on the show, I better have some water with me if you were on the show. So I was like, oh, it's got the ginger.
Indeed. But with the exercising, we are super busy. And I think that a lot of times there's this misconception. I always is it misconception that when you exercise, you have to exercise for a whole bunch of time for it to be effective. And that's not true. The first part is rewiring how we view exercise.
Yeah.
I'd say over and over again, instead of doing 30 to 45 minutes, just break it down to 10-minute chunks and you'll still get it done. But there are times, especially as moms, running businesses, having full-time careers, any of that, sometimes your day does just seem like you don't have 20 to 30 minutes consecutively to get anything done. So I like to do what I consider to be sneaky workouts
Okay.
because, again, it all adds up. So there are a few things. There are ways where you can exercise your entire body throughout the day without going to the gym, picking up weights, or wasting any extra time.
Does that include a
So
machine or
one
something?
of
I'm
my
like,
favorite, no, nope. So one of my favorite, because like you said, always drinking water. Whenever I refill my water bottle, I do push-ups off the counter. That's at least 10 to 15 push-ups, depending on how. So why you make that face?
I was like push-ups on the counter. That seems hella hard.
It's not. And you know what? I like push-ups off the counter because a lot of women feel like they can't do regular push-ups. And first of
Yeah.
all, let's call them modified push-ups and not girly push-ups. Like I can't do regular push-ups. Doing them off of the counter is way easier. It's just like doing it off the wall too. I tell a lot of women, if you're not comfortable trying regular push-ups yet do them off the wall or do them off the counter. And the stronger you start to feel yourself getting, if they become easier, that just means you're getting
Okay.
stronger. And to challenge yourself more, just move your feet further away from the wall and or counter, whatever you're using. But it's so much easier than you think. But it helps to build your arms. And if you're refilling your water bottle 2 to 3 times a day, as you should,
I am.
you're gonna get a good 30 push-ups in. 30 push-ups so in. The other one that I love, you talk about how you hear me whenever you drink water. The weirdest thing is when people tell me, Krystal, I can't go to the bathroom without thinking of you.
Girl, what are you
Because
doing to people in the
one of
bathroom?
my, so folks, women, let's just be real. Women always want nice butts. So what I tell people to do when you go to the restroom, because if you're drinking your water like you're supposed to, you're going to use the bathroom like you're supposed to. Each time you go to the restroom, do 10 squats. So if you're going to the restroom 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, you're getting at least 30 to 50 squats in every day. And it's not stopping you from anything else that you're doing. And then while you wash your hands, I either do calf raises or I do like either straight leg kickbacks or kicks to the side because I have to wash my hands for 20 seconds. So why not move my legs and work my legs at the same time? So those are like my favorite ones to do. I honestly do those every day, just without even thinking about it. It's just refill my water. Even when my food is warming up in the microwave, I'll do the same thing. It's still the same time, and so it's a matter of merging. They're called triggers. So when I do this, I will do that. So whenever I refill my water, just the sound of that water reminds me do push-ups. Whenever I'm washing my hands, it just reminds me do some kickbacks or do some side raises, whichever part of the butt I feel like working that day. And a lot of women don't work their calves, so that's why I do calf raises too. A lot of times I'm just standing still when you're in the store, and I mean in the line at the store. I do calf raises at the store. I
And
don't
I
care.
love that. I
It's
did
my
an
leg.
episode I did an episode a long time ago about tiny habits, and it talks a little exactly about those triggers. Of like you're doing one thing, the triggers the other thing. I don't know. In that book, they talked about rewarding yourself right after. Like even it's just like saying "Good job, Krystal," or like you do a little, happy dance, to kind of trigger the mind to make it into a habit. I've never thought about doing squats over a toilet or in a bathroom. My bathroom is smaller, so I probably still could do it. I'm just making excuses to be honest. But I do like the ideal of, okay, I do have to go to the bathroom. I do have to wash my hands for 20
Mhm.
seconds, and I do drink enough water to where I can get in at least a good 20 push-ups because I drink
Mhm.
this one. I usually drink out of this. So this is like 32 ounces. So I
Yeah.
do at least
Yeah.
two 32 ounces a day. But like, I guess I feel like, and I don't know if this is just me, I feel like, maybe I'm not getting enough in. And I don't know if a lot of people
Mhm.
feel that way. And if I want to do more, but I love how you're giving us at least
Mhm.
opportunity to at least sneak something in until we can get in more. I don't know. It's exercising. I love well, let me put that. I don't love exercising. But like when I'm in it, I'm in it. Like I'm good. Like especially
Yeah.
back in the day when I used to go to the gym, I'm like, yeah. Once you get me there, I'm there. But because I don't like, I don't know. It just I want to do it, and I make excuses. I know you're right. I don't deem it as a priority. I think about it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do yoga today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I'm going to watch the rest of The West Wing because I haven't seen that years ago.
But you can do yoga while you're watching West Wing. And that's the other thing I tell people: put on your favorite show, stretch, do something else I like to do. If I'm watching TV, I'll pick a certain exercise to do during a scene. So, say for instance, if you're watching a show, each scene is probably what, like a minute or two long, whatever. I'll say, oh, during this scene, I'm going to do leg drops because you got to get our abs in too. And then once the scene switches, I chill out and watch something else. And then I'll say, well, the next two scenes, whatever, like I'll give myself another scene to rest. Then the next scene, you know what? I'm going to do glute bridges, just other ways, because it's better than just sitting. Because the thing is, unfortunately, first of all, we're not just watching TV. We're multitasking. We're watching TV and we're on social media at the same time. So instead of just sitting on, and I ain't lying, stop me when I'm telling the truth, when I stop telling the truth, but instead of just sitting on the couch the entire time with the phone while you're watching the show, if you're going to multitask, why not add something in that you want? And the thing is that we've been told, we've been trained and programmed to think that exercising is a necessary evil. Whenever anything is any type of evil, you don't want to do it. So instead of saying, "Oh, I'm going," and people, this is the other thing. Oh, there's so many things. I'm gonna get some water now. Sorry,
She's getting
Daniel.
hot, so she needs some water.
I am. So the thing is that too often we don't realize that exercising is a blessing. The ability to is a blessing,
Come
and
on, girl.
I became like fully aware of this in 2018. I think it was the year we met. I had the boot on, and I was visiting at an event, and I have my playing cards. So I had the playing cards, and this lady came over to the table, and she asked me about them, and she looks about my age, not but about the same size. And so she's looking at them, and I explained to her. She's like, "Oh, these are cool." She said, "But I can't do these." And in my head, I was thinking, like, "Girl, yeah, no." I said it, "Girl, yes, you can." Because in my head, I'm thinking she's told herself I'm not strong enough. And so she says, "No, I have RA and my joints don't move like that. I can't. It's physically painful." And I
Yeah.
was just like, wow. She wants to work out and she can't. And there are so many able-bodied people who won't do it. So I always say, if you're able, you should be willing. Because one day we will not be able. And then that's when folks are laying around like, oh, I wish I had, oh, I should have. When all you have to do is give yourself 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes is literally 2% of your day.
No, that makes
2% of your
sense.
day. And we
That
give
makes
so
sense.
much to that other 98%, and we don't do that 2% for ourselves. So I always tell my clients to make their 2% deposit. That's all you got to give. And for those 30 minutes, give it your all, because for the other part of the day, the 98% of the day, you can do whatever you want to. But that's the problem. A lot of times people will drag their feet, pussyfoot around, doing that 30 minutes just to say that they worked out or they went to the gym and they really didn't do anything. That's part of the issue. Just go for it. It's 30 minutes. Why not give it all that you have for those 30 minutes? That's it. That's all you need. You don't need, I call them my dirty 30s. If I work out more than 30 minutes, I must really be enjoying myself. Other than that, in and out, 30 minutes. Because, and it's hard not to get intimidated when you see people who post their videos that they were at the gym for 2 hours and this and that. So you feel like, oh, I need to do 2 hours too. That's what everybody's doing. No, you don't. A lot of times they're doing the most. How much time are they spending on social media and on the phone and just sitting on machines at the gym? Get your 30 minutes and go. That's how I
Yeah.
look at it.
I think that's a
That's
great
just me.
idea. I think there's also people who are like me who need a little bit of motivation. Like I know that you have,
Sure.
I think a membership where, like, so for me, like if I
Mhm.
was working with someone, it motivates me. Can you talk more about the membership program that you have that I think would motivate someone who's busy, but also needs that extra kind of kick in that, hey, are you drinking your water? Are you doing this?
Yeah. And I'm laughing because my clients, now I don't know if this is a good thing or not, but they call me their little gnat. They're
You
like, you're
are. I mean,
always
I
in my
love
ear
you, but
because,
you are.
but I text my clients, all of my clients hear from me at least 3 to 4 times a day. And the reason why I do that is because you said sometimes you need that push, you need that reminder. You know you're supposed to drink water, but even sometimes I will get so busy and get caught up in my day that I don't realize that I haven't moved more as much as I should, or I haven't had as much water. And so that's what I do. So for my clients who are in my monthly program, and it's called Shift. And the reason why I call it Shift is because it's not just a shift in your body, it's a shift in your mindset, it's a shift in your lifestyle. So what I do is it's a monthly coaching program. And the first 4 weeks, because getting started is the hardest part. Like you said, sometimes you don't want to go to the gym, but once you get there, it's like, yes, putting on your shoes, press and play, getting in the car, getting started. Those are the hardest parts. So those first 4 weeks when they first start with me, I give them all of their workouts lined up. Blah, blah, blah. Do this for 30 minutes a day and you'll be solid. Give them the sample meal plans, text them all day, every day. Like you said, remind them to get up and move, remind them to stretch, because that's another thing people forget. Remind them to drink the water, of course. But yeah, it's just, and on top of it, yes, my program, the workouts are awesome. They work, they get results. But honestly, what I feel is the best part about the program is the community that's been built from it. The women are amazing at supporting each other on top of the support I give each other. A lot of them have exchanged phone numbers. They are each other's accountability partners within the program. We meet every Saturday morning. And even my folks who are on the West Coast, they get up at 7 o'clock in the morning every Saturday to come in and get that reminding and encouragement, just to keep pushing and to be there to help and support each other. So it has turned into an amazing family. And it's so funny because it is all women. And they've gotten to the point they've decided that I can't accept any men clients.
I know
They
that's
said,
right.
no, that, but it truly is a community where we come together. I give them live workouts, so we do expert trainings together. I even have a Zumba instructor who has classes for them every Sunday. So throughout the week, there are a minimum of 2 touch points, physical touch, well, not physical, but live touch points each week, in addition to the 3 to 4 text messages every day. So they never feel like they're alone. They never get stuck in their silos, because it's unfortunate. You know this too. When you get on that path of healthier living, it's amazing how sometimes you are fit shamed and people around like, girl, what you doing? This and that, or they sabotage you, and instead they want to always go out to eat, always want to drink wine and it's not. And don't get me wrong, I like my wine. Danielle knows. Danielle and I have had many glasses of wine together.
Yes, we have.
But it's hard when that's all you're surrounded by in your personal circles. So having this community gives you that other support that you need when people around you just don't understand what you're doing and why, and the mental struggles that it takes to stay in the game. So yeah, I love my ladies. I call them my game changers because they're changing the game for themselves and their families. So yeah, those are my ladies. Those are my
And I think you
girls.
need that type of community when you are on this shift, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
fitness, whether it's wellness, whether you're doing inner child work, whatever type of healthy healing that you're doing, because the people you've known, the people you rock with, your family, your girls from way back when, they see you as this box. And it's sometimes hard for you to shift, not because you aren't doing the work, but because the
Mm-hmm.
outside external voices around you are like, why are you shifting? No, no. And they're resisting it. So I love that I get
Mm-hmm.
that why they would love to be an audience. We're talking about it more and more of us like, do I want to add Krystal as a paid nat? I'm like, I kind of need you in my life. But one thing you did talk about, you mentioned like just briefly, was it's not just about exercising, it's about the food. And I know
No.
that we all think like there's these foods that we can't eat that will, that you can't lose weight. What are some like off limit foods that will actually help you lose weight that people don't even know about?
First of all, nothing's off limit. I don't believe in restriction at all. At all. I consider myself, and my clients consider me to be, a very non-traditional trainer slash
Hmm.
coach. I've literally prescribed tequila to my clients.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
If you
Tequila
have,
does
if you need
heal.
it. But the thing is, like you said, it's not just about exercising, it's about the whole. So in addition to the exercising and the food, we do a lot of mindset conversation as well.
Mm-hmm.
because our relationship with food is the whole core of where we are. With even calling foods bad, that came from somewhere. When you consider a food to be bad, a couple things happen. When you have it, you kick yourself for it, you punish yourself for it, then you either just say forget it and just eat all of it, or you say, you know what, I'm just going to starve myself. None of that is healthy. And then even when you eat something that's good, you think you can reward yourself like your dog. So now you're like, oh, I ate some salmon, so now I can, as opposed to just realizing that food is fuel. I tell my clients, instead of saying, is it good or bad, just ask yourself, is it on path or off path? Towards your goals, when you eat it, you either going to keep going towards your path or you're going to veer off. But at the end of the day, all roads are windy. So
Yeah.
there's no need for you to feel like it has to be a straight path all the time. That is boring. But a lot of times people don't realize you can eat the bad foods and still get to where you want to go, because if nothing else, they help you psychologically. They help your mood. Because if you don't get the foods that you're looking for, then your mood is going to change. And then if you restrict yourself too much, by the time you get it, you are going to go ham, and there's no path anymore. You just jumped in the woods. So I never tell my clients, don't eat something that you want, but I do want you to think about, do I need all of it? Because like I have a client, she absolutely loves buffalo wings, loves them. And so instead of telling her don't eat them, when you get your order, split them in half. Now you can eat them through multiple times throughout the day. So, but there are a lot of foods that people think are bad that aren't. Like chicken thighs. We were told don't eat thighs because it's all fat. You need the fat. Now you don't want the skin in it, but chicken thighs are still good for you. That extra fat is going to keep the juice in there so that you're not adding all the extra sauces that you typically would, that you have to put on your dry chicken breast. Because a lot of folks don't even know how to cook chicken breast. They just know they're supposed to eat chicken breast because it's healthier. No, eat your chicken. Eat your doggone chocolate because that helps your mood. Eat all of it. Just be mindful of how much. That's all you got to do, is be mindful of how much. And I know some people say, well, Krystal, I don't have the restraint. I get that. Now, if you don't have the restraint, then you don't have to talk about that and really have a conversation with yourself. That is a mental feat. But what I tell folks, log it. If you don't have the restraint, log your foods. It'll tell you. A lot of folks say, I don't know why I can't lose weight. I don't even eat that much. I only eat like twice, 2 or 3 times a day. When you eat 2 or 3 times a day, what are you eating? And
Everything.
how much of it are you eating? Everything. Everything.
Yeah.
Just
And
like
I
even
like the fact
people
that you
who
were
intermittent
talking.
fast.
And I was gonna say, I
Oh, go
love the
ahead.
fact that you talked about, not calling food good or bad, but is it on path or off path? Because when we label something good or bad, we're shaming ourselves right away, or we're rewarding ourselves. And it does play into how we eat. Like for me, I don't think I shame myself in yes, to some degree. I shame myself in the cost of the food, not what I'm eating. Like, so like for example, my nephew definitely shaded me. Shout out to good old Jeremiah. I love you though. Um, I wanted this cheese. And I looked
Mm-hmm.
everywhere for this cheese. I went to Portugal recently and I just love this cheese from Portugal. Like I literally went to Portugal to have this cheese at this one spot in Lisbon. I couldn't find this cheese until I found it online, and it is $50. I spent $50 for a wheel of cheese. Yeah, I see your face. See, that's the whole thing that he did too. But I was like, you know what? I'm worthy of this cheese. And so, honey, I'm going to eat this cheese. But I feel like the old me would have been like, oh man, I shouldn't be spending this much. And like, this is cheese, like, da da da. I'm not really, I shame myself more in the price of it. Like, when it comes to food, I just feel like if this is what I want to eat, and I got that from someone we know, Precious Bibbins, who's amazing. If I want to
Mm-hmm.
eat, I'm just going to eat it. And if I want to order, it doesn't mean I have to eat
Mm-hmm.
everything, but I'm not going to
Exactly.
restrict myself. So oftentimes I'll go to a restaurant and I'll order different things. And if I don't eat it all, it's okay. I allow myself
Mm-hmm.
to know that I live in abundance so that I can eat whatever. But then that brings me back to my next question for you is Thanksgiving and Christmas and
Mm-hmm.
Kwanzaa, whenever holiday around the wintertime that anyone celebrates, Hanukkah as well. Shout out to my Jewish people. I love Hanukkah, by the way. Can I just tell you, I really wanted to be Jewish as a child. Okay, back to the conversation. But I did really want to be Jewish, and I play a mean dreidel. Don't test this. But like, how I know the first thing people are thinking is the holidays are coming up, and we're talking about eating what we
Mm-hmm.
want. But like, at the same time, people are going to want to cut calories. Let's keep it real. They want to cut calories, but still like, how can they cut the calories but still enjoy themselves?
Okay, there are a few things with that. And before I answer that, I'm going to address something you said about shame.
Yeah.
Brene Brown talks about. Do you read Brene Brown or listen to her?
I
In
have
her
seen
book,
her
Daring.
on Netflix. Yeah, I know who she is. I have one of her books. I
Yes.
just haven't read it.
So she talks about the difference between shame and guilt. Guilt is okay. It's shame that's the problem. When you are shame is what causes you to hide up under the covers and eat your food or hide wrappers and stuff like hide receipts and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
And that's when you're kicking yourself mentally. Guilt is like, "Ooh, I shouldn't have done that." And it just makes you reevaluate your next steps. So guilt is not a bad thing. It's like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have eaten that." And then you just think about it and say, "Let's move forward." So it's a difference. There's nothing wrong with feeling a little guilty like, "Oh, that was way off path." But to answer your question with the holidays, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday because of all the food. When I say I don't even eat pork, but I eat ham on Thanksgiving. I eat it all on Thanksgiving. That
You're
is
like,
the
give it
one
to me.
day.
You're like Rick James. Give it to me, baby.
You look here, all of it. But this is the thing. There are a few. I want to answer that question a couple ways.
Okay.
There are a few ways because I've actually done a segment on healthier soul food, just the ways that we can make small adjustments so that we're cutting some calories so we still enjoy it. And that's part of the issue. A lot of times people think that healthier eating is nasty or bland. No. One of my biggest suggestions and tips is to season that stuff up. Get you some herbs. I'm telling you, those herbs will give you the kick that you need. Now, notice I said mainly herbs, not the salty spices and all that stuff, because a lot of us Black folks have high blood pressure, but those herbs will add you some flavor. So some things like for Thanksgiving, my thing is this realistically, I don't like to mess with Thanksgiving. Let it be. Let that macaroni be what it's gonna be. Do I make healthier macaroni? Sure. I use almond milk instead of regular milk, but that's about the only change I'm gonna make. I'm gonna eat my cheese and my butter. You bring me some vegan macaroni and cheese, we're gonna fight. That's it. Just is what it is.
I wouldn't.
Um, yeah, I don't. I feel like don't mess with Thanksgiving. Just don't. If you are trying to cut calories, I would say, of course, they say the whiter meats as opposed to darker meats, just because the white meat turkey is, I make a good turkey. However, it just is not as good as the dark meat. Let's just be honest about it. And you really don't need as much gravy. With the white meat, is that's when you start pouring on the gravy. But if you have the dark meat, you typically can avoid that. Um, of course, using turkey products in your greens and green beans as opposed to the higher sodium uh, pork. But for the most part, this is my thing on Thanksgiving. That is one doggone day. That's one meal. Just stay on track the rest of the week and it's okay. We put so much pressure on that day. Say, oh, I'm going to eat 5,000 calories. Okay. But what are you doing Sunday through Wednesday? And then what are you going to do Friday? Well, we know Friday's going to be leftovers. But what are you going to do following back on? Following after that week? It's okay. Stay on track with your workouts. I always do a Thanksgiving Day workout just to stay on track because that's another thing people do say, oh, I've been up all night cooking. I got to get up cooking again. When you start, the problem is that you can't eat that way and neglect exercise. That's the problem. That's like my folks who have diabetes. You can't decide that you're not going to take your meds and and you're not going to change how you eat and you're not going to work out. You can't do all of this. Pick your poison. Pick which one you're going to do. So if you know you're going to enjoy your food, enjoy your food. Just stay on track and be okay. And drink a lot of water. You should have known that was coming. Keep drinking your water. It balances it out. It's going to flush you out And honestly, drinking water before you eat reduces how much you can eat anyway. So that in itself is going to reduce some of the calories that you consume.
And like you talk about drinking
But
water,
I eat.
like
Mhm,
should you? So I was doing some kind of cleanse or whatever, and they were saying that you shouldn't
mhm.
drink with your food. That was one of the things they mentioned, and that you should drink like 30 minutes water after your food. Do you have a take on like when you should drink water or like when around like meals?
All the time.
Okay.
You see, I'm
Like
like,
I was,
what? So
she's like, girl, she's like, girl, what? All right. I see you. I feel you. I hear
so
you.
this is another thing because another reason why we gain weight, the sad part, the sad, crazy, scary, whatever you want to call it, is that the average person gains 3 to 5 pounds in November and December just from all of the holiday eating. And a lot of times people just wash their hands, say, well, oh well, I just wait till January. I'm just gonna eat, drink, I'm not gonna work out because new year, new me. And so it just tumbles down the doggone hill. But a lot of that is that we're gonna talk about it. A lot of us don't use the restroom like we're supposed to. We don't eliminate like we're supposed to. That keeps your weight up, helps you, makes you feel lethargic. When you feel lethargic, you don't want to exercise. It's just a bad thing. So something that I like to suggest with my clients, with that, a few things. A lot of people don't do it or don't know about it, but in the mornings, do a colon massage. And that's literally just taking your right hand, start at the bottom of the right side of your stomach, bring it up your side, go across, and go down the left side. And that's how your colon works. That's how your colon works. So just doing that massage, I do it about 4 or 5 times in the morning just to get pipes going. But when it's time to eat, something else I tell my folks to do, drink water and eat fruit while you're cooking, because it's almost like it creates a pathway. It's like, that water and that fiber. So by the time you do eat, it's going to eliminate easier. And I say, when you drink water, you're not going to eat as much as you typically would anyway. So
No, I
that's
think that's
that's my
smart move.
and yeah. And after you finish eating, even if you still feel like you're a little hungry, wait 20 minutes. Because it's so often we'll eat our food and it's like, oh, I'm still hungry. And then you get up and go get a couple more bites. And then 20 minutes later, you're like, oh, why did I do that? Because now you can't move. Give yourself 20 minutes, drink some water, and see how you feel. If you still feel a little hungry, then get another bite or two, maybe. But don't go get a whole nother plate. But typically, after that 20 or 30 minutes, you'll see that you're full anyway.
No, that
Good
makes
enough.
sense. And like I know that you talked about, new year, new me. I know one of the first things people are
Mm-hmm.
talking about, like, I'm going to kick this baby weight, this baby fat. I mean, because we were
Uh-huh.
like, it's a new year, I'm a new body, I'm gonna get ready for summer now. What are tips you have
Mm-hmm.
for people who want to quote unquote kick the baby fat? And can you actually really kick the baby fat on your own?
Well, a couple things. Your new year, new me is any day. If I decide to start today, 12 months from now, that's my new year. Like, I don't know why people feel like they have to do a calendar year. Your new year is tomorrow. It's
Hmm.
today. Just let's be clear on that.
What is that
But
mindset people
yeah,
think it's like they literally see December 31st, like, oh my God, if I don't get this stuff, if I don't meet my goals by this time, I have failed.
mm-hmm,
And then they're like, okay, reset. I start all over again and I'm going to do better this year. And by January 12th,
mm-hmm,
people are like, nah, I don't do that anymore.
yeah, typically that's how I go. But with baby fat, yeah, you can. I'll tell you. So, oh, give you some of my favorite weight loss tips after having a baby. The best thing that I did, there were two things that were really good for me. One was logging my food. I told you about that. But the other, well, three things. What else really, really helped me? Because Dang, I don't know if you saw me when I was pregnant, saw a picture of me, but your girl gets big when
Oh,
she
yeah, I saw
has
pictures
kids.
of you
Ooh.
pregnant. You were hella big. I mean, I'm not saying you were hella big, but you were big.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Your girl was on swole. But what helped me was I started using smaller plates. That was the first
Mm.
thing I did. Because if you think about it, the American doggone society, we want everything bigger and bolder, And when we have big plates, big bowls, big glasses, psychologically, we feel the need to fill those up. So we're adding extra calories. And so one day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to eat off this plate. It was like a salad plate. Well, a little bit bigger it wasn't a dessert plate. I can't even describe the size of the plate. I was like, let me just try a smaller plate. Didn't put as much on my plate, and it was still satisfying. And I was like, huh, okay. Then the next thing I did to take it one step further, I just challenged myself to leave one bite of everything on my plate. That's it, just one bite. And it wasn't too, some days like something's real good, you're like, ooh, but I want that last bite. But just from using the smaller plate,
Hmm.
and leaving that one bite, I was easily saving myself 300 to 500 calories a day. And all of that just eventually adds up. They tell us after, while we're pregnant, it took you 9 months to gain it, mom. Give yourself 9 months to lose it. Nobody wants to hear that. Like I've always been very honest and transparent that after I had my second son, I don't know. At first, I'm gonna say I considered the fat burners. I went and bought some. I'm not gonna say which one, but I bought some, and I remember I told my sister about it because on top of it, I was working. I was just tired, and my
Yeah.
sister read me the riot act. And because we have heart disease in our family, and she's like, "Why would you do that?" But I was desperate. If you have a baby, you are desperate to get your body back. Like that. That looking in the mirror, I was like, I don't like this. But when I thought about it, it's like I can't put him at risk. I can't put myself at risk because I was nursing my son at the time. And just making those little changes, they helped so much because I don't even think at the time I was exercising. It was really just about me monitoring my food. That's when I switched to I think I switched to skim milk at the time, but just making little changes. When I would eat cheese on a burger or whatever, instead of an entire slice, I would just use a half a slice. So it was really just being intentional about little ways that I could cut corners, because it will cut calories, because your body learns what you put into it, right? So everything that we eat, calories are measurements of heat, right? So everything that we eat has a calorie. Calories aren't bad. So if your body is accustomed to you giving it 2,000 calories, 2,000 units of heat, your body is used to burning that 2,000 and it's moving
Hmm.
like this. But then if you say, you know what, just gonna give it 1750, it's still burning on that 2,000 rate. So you're burning calories even faster. So that was a game changer. Those smaller plates and saving a bite, those were game changers for me. Game that After I had my son, that everything else that I was trying was not working, but those two things really saved me. And then I started strength training. That was the next thing when I got the nerve to do it,
Hmm.
because so many women, we're afraid to. We feel like cardio is what we're supposed to do. Strength training, i.e., weights or push-ups or whatever, that's what men do. We feel foolish. We feel like we don't know what we're doing. We feel out of place. Feel like we've been looked at. Feel like it's not for us. We're afraid that we're going to get bulky. All of that stuff. But no, 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 no. Strength training is what builds your body. That's what burns more fat than anything. You can burn calories during your cardio session, but when you're building muscle doing strength training, there is such thing as an afterburn. So when you are doing strength training, squats, push-ups, whatever, and when you feel soreness, that's a muscle tear, and it's repairing itself, right? Because that's how you build your muscle. You tear the muscle and it repairs itself. So the soreness that you're feeling is that muscle coming back together. When you feel that soreness for 2 to 3 days, do you know what that means? That means that your body is still burning calories to rebuild. So that lasts way longer than your 30-minute cardio session. Your 30-minute cardio session, you burn that, and that's all. But when your body is rebuilding those muscles, that you get to burn calories for 48 hours. That's why, quick tip. On Thanksgiving, on high calorie days, whether it's Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, your birthday, whatever it is, when you know you're about to eat a lot of calories, work your bigger muscles. So your legs, your back, because that's going to give you more of a calorie burn longer, as opposed to just doing a cardio session. Like people love to do turkey trots. Those are fine. Those are fun for that day. But if you are doing your legs and your back, those big muscles that take time to repair, you're going to burn calories longer. And it's going to be more of a balance for that high calorie meal. And I know that was a
Like I feel
long
you've
roundabout
given us
answer, but there you
no, this is good. I feel like you've given so many like little tips that will go a long way from like the sneaky things that we can do as women who are busy, how to, how to just eat a little bit better in just small ways that I think that make a huge difference. And again, with the whole thing with using something that you're already doing to trigger something else, like you're eating the fruit with
go.
in the water while cooking. You're already cooking, you're already helping your body process without much effort. And so I just think this is really
Mhm.
helpful. How can people, like, I know you have a couple things going on, how can people work with you? How can people get connect with you? And do you have something else that you want to offer the people to kind of, help them along their path of, recognizing that fitness ain't a game and that it don't take much?
Well, I'm on all the socials as well. Let me back up on all the old people socials as fitness is not a game. As I say, I'm not on the tickety tock. I have Twitter, don't quite use it, but you can find me on IG. You can find me on Facebook. And I will say for Facebook, I have a page and a group. The group is where it's popping. No, the group is where you want to be. And this fitness is not a game. Danielle's in there. The group
Yes.
is crazy fun and
Fire.
supportive. It is a family too because they will bully you up in there too. Like, hey, I'm surprised anybody. Every once in a while we'll do the where they at Wednesday if they haven't seen a post in a while. Maybe tomorrow's Wednesday. Maybe I'll do a post. Where Danielle at? Y'all seen Danielle do yoga lately?
Why? It's the shade. Always so real with this. I love my sister, but I guess I
But you
have
know what
not
though?
been in the
I
group.
love no, but I love, and I say that to say, and we do that because the group was really created for us to borrow from each other, support each other, just like, hey, I'm doing this because this is the thing. My programs aren't for everybody. Yoga isn't for everybody. Running isn't for everybody. Lifting weights. And so the group was created so that everybody could talk about the different things that they're doing and just like, hey, maybe I'll try that. And when you were posting your yoga stuff, it did encourage a lot of people like, I never thought about yoga. Let me try that. That looks, she looks happy. It looks fun, so that's why I said, and honestly, we have maybe one other person now who's been posting yoga, but yeah, that's what I'm just saying. I miss your yoga stuff. That's all. There was no shade. That was all in love.
No, no, I
But it
know it
was
was
a
good
warning that
things.
you're not
Yes,
going to see a post tomorrow. Just a warning. You might see a post tomorrow.
I might see a
But
post
let's see. So
tomorrow.
that's how you find. I would love to see a post from you tomorrow with the yoga. But as far as working with me, if you just go to fitnessisnotagame.com, there is a link at the top that says work with me. So the only program that I truly have open is the $99 shift monthly program because there are other programs, but that's typically invite only after you've gone through the $99 first, more detail. Because my thing is, I don't want to take anybody's money. Like I want to make sure that you're ready for the next level. So yeah, $99 shift is the intro, and it's the best way to get started. And then not on there, and like I said, if you sign up for the sneaky workouts, because we went through them, I actually have more. So sure, you'll provide the link as well for them to get the sneaky
Hmm.
workouts, and then that way you be kept in the loop on all that I have coming up, because I do challenges. I do free 5-day challenges as well. I have a couple. Could not have one for the beginning of the year, just to put it out there. The beginning of the year is coming up, and that one is called Couch to Consistency, because that's the biggest challenge. A lot of times, folks have this idea of what they want to do at the beginning of the year, but they don't stick with it. So in the beginning of the year, I'll give you all some tips on how to actually stick with your New Year's resolution. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. I'm always racking my brain on how I can help, because this is my mission. My mission is to help at least 1 million Black families change their medical histories, because we're not predisposed to any preventable diseases. So I'm constantly doing challenges and running these programs and spreading the message, because we should not be diagnosed with high blood pressure and diabetes the way we are, because those things don't run in our families. Bad habits run in our families.
Mm,
We
right.
don't have to have that happen to us, and that is my honest belief. So there's always something going on to try to get to that goal. But I know I can't do it myself. So Danielle, that's why I thank you for having me here, because hopefully I've reached at least one person, hopefully more than one person today. That would make me feel bad if only one person liked it. But that one person could affect so many other people. And it's just going to be an exponential effect. And that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
And that's what we're here. I mean, this whole podcast is about creating a wellness revolution where we're getting out of the survival mode and we're learning how to heal and thrive in fitness and eating healthy. And it's not even eating healthy, it's choosing how you eat and how you look at what you eat. That all plays into it. So I love you for being here. So at the end of every show, I love to do like this quick fire questions, nothing crazy. And so whatever comes to mind, just answer the question. All right.
Nothing crazy from you. You sure?
I'm sweet and innocent. What you talking about, girl? Don't be trying to put everything out on the streets. You have your friends on the show. They be telling all your business.
Look at birds with feathers. So what does that say about me?
I've been an innocent nun most of my life. Wait, hold on. There we go.
So you just gonna let lightning strike everybody at the same time, come through all the computers and the phones at the same time? Don't do that to us. Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. So what does hella well mean to you? Living hella well mean to you?
Ooh, doing only what feeds my spirit.
I love that.
For me, when I said,
Go ahead. Finish.
Do I just get one answer and then shut up? Okay. It's rapid fire. Doing whatever feeds my spirit makes me happy.
I thought you were done. My bad, sis. Aisle or window?
Window.
I didn't think about that one. I saw that. What's always in your travel bag?
Sanitizer and snacks.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. When did you know you were Black?
Oh, the first time I got called a nigga when I was about 6, somewhere around there.
Dang. I at least waited to middle school for that one. Interesting story. I'll tell you offline. And as we talked about, this is a wellness revolution. What advice would you give to your younger self to be part of this revolution of not being in survival mode and thriving?
To not be afraid of strength training and try it earlier. To accept that I was always strong and not let people tell me that I couldn't do something.
I love it. That you were always strong and people couldn't tell you nothing. Besides, you should have been an AK. Okay. All right. On that note, I know I couldn't help myself.
So that's how we're going to start and end it? Is that what we're doing? That's how we're going
to start and end it. I love you. I will continue drinking more water. Thank you for being the amazing gnat that's in my head. Thank you for all that you do for so many people. You inspire us to be better little by little, and I love you for it.
Thank you for having me. You are everything. That's what I say. The whole, I don't know if I ever said to you privately, so I'm going to say it to you now in front of everyone. I'm so proud of everything that you're doing and the strides that you've taken to make sure that not only are you hella well, but everybody else is hella well, because it's overlooked so often. We're told that we're supposed to be okay with every situation, and you brought it to the forefront that, you know what, one, it's okay to not be okay, and two, instead of being okay, let's thrive and let's be hella well with it. So I love everything that you're doing to make sure that we all are hella well. So I love you for that, sis. I don't know if I ever got a chance to tell you that or not, but I just want to make sure I did.
Girl, about to make a sister cry. So on that note, I'm going to say ciao to all of y'all, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hella Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellawellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hella Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hella Well Danny on Twitter. And if you hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.